Oh man, right in the middle of the kill streak. Hey Charlie, man, what's up? How you doing?
Not much, except for the fact that you're not here at work where you're supposed to be. The show's about to start. Dude, are you seriously taking bong rips right now when I'm trying to talk to you?
Bong rips, yeah, man. Of course, it's Wednesday. Sit around, play video games, and smoke weed all day, man. Why are you busting my balls?
Wednesday? Nah, dude. It's fucking Thursday. Fucking stoners. Look, get your ass in here before Glick goes fucking full Bigfoot around here, okay?
Really? He's worried about me being late? When tardiness is defined by this network's punctuality?
Dude, just get your ass here.
All right. Let Grizzly Adams know I'm on my way. I'm going to take this last rip, though, while you roll that intro. All right. Hey, welcome to trial number 2 on whose argument is it anyway. Speaking of Grizzly Adams, we are joined tonight by Glick. But before we start rolling in with all that, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Sorry about last week. Some weather and internet problems. Shit goes on. But tonight we're going to go a little different route. We're going to just make it one sort of big topic with a little bit of subtopics. Tonight's mostly going to be talking about Batman. We're going to open up the floor to who is the better Batman, Christian Bale or Michael Keaton. So there's going to be some nostalgia discussions, and we'll go into maybe throw in some Ben Affleck or maybe some Robert Pattinson. But before we get there, I do want to go ahead and briefly go through the weekly lineup. Starting on Mondays, we have Men Caring for Men, hosted by Connor, even though he's on a sabbatical right now. Glick's taking care of that. And then Tuesday nights, you have Glick's House of Music now, bringing the fresh. And you know what? I'm trying to find the bio ticker on the banners, but everything gets moved around because I'm not used to this shit. But Tuesday nights again is Glick's House of Music. And then there it is. I got you. And then Wednesday nights, What the Fuck News, where they bring some weird news to make your jaw hit the ground sometimes not, especially when they have me up there talking about ramen noodles in your pants. Then Thursdays is tonight. Whose line is it anyway? Where I'll bring a couple guests up. We'll have discussions, or they'll have discussions, debates on various topics. Some nights I might just throw up a movie night, call it the Nonsense and Chill, and we'll critique movies. Who knows? Anything is open. All right. So BioLinks is down in the ticker. And let's get on with our guests.
You forgot about the most important night of the week, and then the not so
important. Oh, shoot, that's right, man. I am in such a hurry to get on with this. That's right. When did I stopped on Thursday? Well, I mean, what's more important than Thursday nights?
So Friday is a good DJ usually. Friday and Saturday. So I mean, just saying.
Oh, Friday nights right now is sort of like a flashback Fridays, or whatever Glick has in store he wants to throw up is kind of an open night so far. Saturdays, flagship nonsensical nonsense, where 6 hours straight, man, we just get rude and crude with each other and talk about various issues, topics, and just bust each other's chops. Or as some people like to say, bust the balls. Sundays, Sunday nights is Jeff's Garage, where it's just if it fits in your garage, it's worth talking about. And that's co-hosted with Benji. All right. Now that I got that out of the way,
I don't blame you for forgetting one of them, but that's because it's the newest one on the network, the part-time show, if you will.
Oh, the part-time show, which I don't even know what nights. Is that officially on Fridays or Sundays?
We don't have an official day yet. We were going to shoot for Fridays, but as we were talking before the show, that might change.
All right, well,
squeeze it in. We just got to squeeze it in when we can squeeze it in. But that's Cash's Corner for you wrestling fans out there. We'll be live sometime this weekend or next week, recapping SummerSlam.
Yes, father-son squatch time bonding. It's
watchable bonding.
It's watchable and squatchable. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So let me rearrange this screen, get us all up there the way I want us up. All there. There we go. Went down here. All right. First, I'm going to go ahead and introduce DJ Bill from Another Shot Podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my dude.
What is going on? I'm one half of Another Shot Podcast. Right now, we're in the beginning stages of ourselves. Our podcast is bar themed. We are literally just two friends that sit down at the bar and talk about everything yesterday, today, tomorrow, because the best conversations are always over a beer and a shot.
There you go. Hell yeah. God, I wish I would have grabbed a shot glass and some whiskey tonight.
Oh, I got you covered.
What are you sipping on?
Proper number 12. I go all Irish.
Irish whiskey. What so you had mentioned that you guys do your one half of podcast. Y'all sit at the bar together, or y'all at y'all separate bars on the internet?
We sit at the bar together and just kind of, I normally don't get this type of background, but seeing as only one of me right now, I was able to kind of give everybody the idea of what we're shooting for. So, you know, we usually do Wednesdays and Sundays. We went on sabbatical last Sunday, you know, just took a little bit of time to sit back, chill, relax, you know, gather our thoughts. But we always leave it open forum when we go and do our lives. That way that allows everybody to come on in and talk about whatever, honestly.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's very open-ended.
You said Sundays and Wednesdays. What time?
Usually, that's the fun part. We haven't locked in. We're either 7 or 8, but we have been known to do Insomniac. So there's been times we've started at 9 or 10.
Ooh, I like that. I like late casts. Wow, I am twisted in my tongue tonight. I can't even talk.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. It was. It absolutely was. It was a lot of today was driving around. And anyway, hey man, thanks for being with us tonight, DJ Bill. You prefer DJ Bill or?
Let's run it. DJ Bill works.
Or did I get that wrong? Because I'm such a pothead right now.
No, you're good.
DJ Dill.
DJ Dill. We thought about that.
DJ Dill.
And again, my email that I created when I was 23 years old also says Manstar, so I've been known to be called Manstar. You literally misspell a word, and you get stuck with it for life, apparently.
Fair enough. Yes. And then we have Glick tonight. You all know Glick, the Bigfoot in the house, the nonsensical network Squatch father, I guess you can call him.
Squatch father. You come to me at my daughter's wedding and ask for a favor.
How was your day, man?
Oh, it was another day. I got me a little nappy poo in now. Yeah, I've discovered in my old age that a lot of times if I come home from work and sit down in the recliner and I don't start playing Call of Duty right away and I kick that recliner up, I usually take me like a little quick nappy poo, a little hour nappy poo.
God, I can't get more than 20 minutes. More than 20 minutes and I'm ruining the rest of the day.
Well, also nobody's home either. So I was able to, the kids are at their mom's. Nikki had to work. So it was like, got me a little nappy in after work, had me a little snack. Woke up late and I was like, oh shit.
Obviously, you have to feed the beard.
Do what?
Forget to feed
I
the
said you didn't
beard.
forget to feed the beard, obviously.
Never forget to feed
Dude, I
the
can
beard.
smell that thing from here.
Probably smells pretty good, like cedar and cherry is what I put in there.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, it smells
There's
You literally
there's
put beard
one
product in.
I do.
Yeah, you have. If you're gonna have a
Yeah.
beard, you have to take
Makes
care
it-
of it.
Makes it less itchy on your face.
I have beard lotion that you put in that goes into the skin, so your skin doesn't get all dry and itchy. And then I've got oils that I put in my beard, so it makes it look all silky and nice. And then I've got a beard straightener. It's a.
I'm trying to figure out how we could segue from beards to Batman, but I just can't think of one.
How much cooler would Batman be if he had a beard?
I don't know. Let's discuss that. But
You know what I need to do? I
Yeah.
need to go get me one of those Batman cowls, and I'll wear it on the show and be like, "Now this is a cool Batman."
Not one person would recognize you.
Nobody.
It'd be like Clark Kent. Who's Superman?
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, hold on. I'm the Sasquatch. Nope. I'm just your friendly neighborhood clique. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see. So,
Ridiculous identity, and I love Superman.
Superman's pretty cool. But tonight's Batman, we can definitely do another Superman night.
The less cooler of the guys in Justice League.
Yeah. Who's Superman? I
The
think
only one
the
without
less
actual
cool.
superpowers.
Batman.
Oh, but dude, Batman has a contingency for everybody in the Justice League to take him down. But we can talk about
World's
that.
greatest detective.
The world's greatest detective. There's been so many people who have played Batman over the years, from Adam West to Christian Bale to Robert Patterson to Ben fucking Affleck. I'm sorry, but if you like Ben Affleck as a Batman, you and I will have some words. But first, I like to focus on two of my favorites. Christian Bale and Michael Keaton. If we want to go into George Clooney and the other one that sucked really bad, I guess we could. But
Val Kilmer.
Yeah, that's the one. Val killed it on Batman again. So
who was worse, Val Kilmer? Yeah, Clooney or Kilmer?
Clooney
Kilmer was
all day.
worse.
Clooney.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay.
Kilmer was always so cool though, and it was like, man, Val Kilmer's gonna be Batman. That ought to be awesome. Wah wah wah.
Well, bear in mind
I
that
think-
particular movie, they were supposed to use Patrick Stewart as Mr. Freeze, and there was a scheduling conflict, so they ended up going with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mhm.
That whole entire
Patrick
movie
Stewart,
is
He would have been a much better. He fit the comic book so much more. He even looked like the guy from the cartoon. So
Yeah.
that movie was dead in the water, especially since it didn't have Tim Burton behind it.
Glick, what do you think?
Trying to remember the damn Val Kilmer Batman movie. Is that horrible?
I didn't
Val
know
Kilmer-
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
I thought Tim Burton stopped after the.
He stopped after Return.
He did the third one. He did do the third one. I think. I don't think he directed that one. I think he helped produce it. So he did have like a small part in it. He definitely did Batman Returns, but I mean, it all went to hell in a handbasket from once they went to what was it, Batman and Robin. That's it. But then again, that's my opinion.
Fair.
I don't like Chris O'Donnell as Batman or Robin. Sorry, not Batman. Robin.
I did. I can honestly say I thought he was good, but he did not represent the character as I would like to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt get his own spinoff.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the Dark Knight Rises, if you remember, they kind of alluded to the fact that they were going to give him his own little spinoff, and they've never gone through with it. I think he'd have been the perfect part.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Chris O'Donnell, there's been a handful of things I've liked with him, but for the most part, I mean, I'm not even a big fan of Chris O'Donnell as an actor, honestly. Uh-oh.
What did Chris O'Donnell do to you? Show us on the doll where Chris O'Donnell touched you.
Yeah. Dude, I don't have enough alcohol to go into that whole debate.
God damn.
I'm still trying to get the taste out of my mouth.
I don't particularly like Chris O'Donnell. He's like one of the nicest guys. At least he looks like one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. You know.
I honestly can't remember anything else he's played in. He's not.
Vertical Limit was another one.
Yeah,
He was in Scent of a Woman.
Okay.
Alongside Al Pacino, but everybody knows that Al Pacino carried that movie. Dude, when you start talking about movies, I'm an absolute geek. I could talk about this shit for days.
Chris O'Donnell just isn't a rememberable actor for me, I guess.
He's also
nothing he ever did was really
one of his longest standing roles has been in what is it, NCIS Los Angeles or whatever.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like,
I gotta get caught up in my. I watch more movies than I do television, so for me,
yeah, he's been on that show for shit. I think that show's going on 15, 16 years old. Him and LL Cool J. I think LL Cool J.
LL Cool J is one of those rare phenomena where he can go from one industry into another and succeed and do well in both. But again,
yeah,
I don't know. I could go down an LL Cool J tangent on some of his horrible movies, which is almost all of them, I think. But we're not here for that. We're not here for LL Cool J. So even though Mama said knocked me out.
Chris O'Donnell.
Or Chris O'Donnell, but Michael Keaton and Christian Bale. That's the meat of the subject I'd like to taste.
For me, it's Keaton all day.
And
all day
you're
long.
Not going to get a debate on that one. I think Michael Keaton. Not only could he be serious, but he brought fun to the role. He really did.
Michael Keaton.
His comedic. Look at the movies he's done before that.
Mm-hmm. When you play Batman, you're essentially playing two characters. Michael Keaton was great as not only Batman but Bruce Wayne. Christian Bale was terrible as Bruce Wayne, and in my opinion, mediocre as a Batman. And Christopher Nolan and that entire franchise can go to hell.
Ooh.
The only good thing that came out of that franchise was Tom Hardy playing Bane. I thought Tom Hardy was a good Bane, even though he was small. But Christian Bale was terrible as Batman, and I like Christian Bale. I like him in other movies. He was just terrible as Batman. The Joker, I'm sorry, overrated, overhyped. Was Heath Ledger a good Joker? Yeah, but so overrated and so overhyped, and he would have been forgotten as Joker had he not died.
Ooh, ouch.
I'm going to have to disagree with that because.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, y'all's conversation. I'm just here to moderate. But I was going to say that I think you have a point. I think his death did bring his character into more fame than simply just being on the screen. But go ahead.
And it's hard to debate that because look at when Brandon Lee died. That took. I don't think The Crow would have been as good as it was had Brandon Lee, and I hate to say it this way, had he not died, that movie went huge. And it was one of those movies for me that the more I watched it, the better it got. Absolutely. That being said, though, I still think Heath Ledger would have been, his role as the Joker was iconic, I think. And the thing about it is, him and Jack Nicholson each brought a different portrayal, just like even Jared Leto. I've yet to see, until Joaquin Phoenix comes along, a bad Joker.
I don't think Joaquin Phoenix is a bad Joker. I think it's just so far left and different from what the average viewer of us, because it's not technically a comic book movie per se, but it's a different origin story of the Joker. And if you're just a casual viewer or even a casual comic book reader, you're more susceptible to kind of shit on these different variations of Joker, because if you read the comics, Joker is one of the very few, it might be the only one that I can think of right off the top of my head, that does not have a true origin story. You know, no matter how many variations of Batman you get, it's the same thing. Parents died in an alley in a robbery. He was Alfred raised him. He became Batman. He became the Dark Knight. He became Vengeance, whatever you want to call him. There's no Superman. Krypton exploded. His parents put him in a space. No matter what the variations or variants or what you're reading, that's the story. That's the background. There's no definitive background origin story for the Joker, and I think that's the one cool thing about all these different movies, is that these directors haven't just based their Joker off of Jack Nicklaus. We've gotten to see different versions of every Joker. Even Heath Ledger, like I said, I like Heath Ledger's role. I just don't think I wouldn't even put him as top 3 Joker.
But you touched on it right there, though, by saying, and on a side note, I think that's what makes the Joker character that much better, is the fact that we don't know a backstory. There's always going to be that mystique. Where the hell did this guy come from? All we know is he, escaped from Arkham, and he's this deranged, brilliant psychopath. But like you said, there, even in the comic books, whether it be Batman, actually Batman and Joker are the only two that I can think of in that, that universe, the Gotham universe, that changed over the years. There's been so many different variations. Now, you had Cesar Romero play him back during the show, and he was literally the clown.
Yeah,
and it was awesome. I mean, that show was iconic. Then you have Michael Keaton. We're going to say it again, the best Batman. Tim Burton did that. He did justice to that whole story. And with Jack Nicholson,
say what you want to say about Tim Burton, whether you like him or not. Tim Burton's one of those guys you either love him or hate him. There's really not an in between. There's really not an in between with him. He did a fantastic job to bring into life a legendary comic book character in a time when it wasn't really being done.
But when you think about it,
good superhero movies that came out in the 90s. You had the Christopher Reeves Superman movies that came out in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yes.
But outside of that, there was no real good superhero movies that were coming out around that time frame.
I can't think of anything.
I can't think of any. Like the Batman show was about it. I mean, I think the Flash had something small happen in the early 80s. There was a couple of standalones out. The Hulk. Lou Ferrigno's The Hulk.
Yeah.
That was before CGI. That was what was really cool. They just had a really big dude that really could not talk very well. He looked like the Hulk without the makeup, honestly.
Yeah.
So going back to the Joker, though, you have Cesar Romero, who was the clown. You have Jack Nicholson, who was the gangster Joker. You have Heath Ledger, who was the anarchist. He wasn't exactly psychotic. He was an anarchist.
Yeah.
Then you have Jared Leto come in, and he is the psychopath.
Gangster.
So, I mean,
I think
he kind of combined. I think he combined the Nicholas.
He was like a Chapo gangster as compared to like a mafia gangster.
He combined like Nicholas's gangster with Ledger's psychopath. So you had that psychotic but brilliant. I loved Leto as Joker. I want a standalone Margot Robbie and Leto movie. I wanted a Joker and Harley movie with Leto, and I'm sorry. There's
Thug style, yeah.
He's like a thug. Yeah, there's not another woman I ever want to see play Harley Quinn ever in my life, other than Margot Robbie.
Really?
She absolutely killed it.
Up until Barbie, I'd yet to see anything that woman do that was bad. But I'm
I've
gonna tell you
never
right now,
seen
Barbie was an absolute fucking stinker. Oh my god!
I have to admit, I haven't seen Barbie. Ooh, that's a good idea. Though we can discuss Barbie one time.
Ew, no,
I
let's
have
not.
seen it.
I'm not there.
I
I think I'm going to have a colonoscopy that day. That will I'll be busy.
Yeah, I
she
have
put
not
the
seen
bar in Barbie. That's for sure.
But no, I think it's safe to say. I mean, anybody of our age group or our age range, Keaton is our Batman. You know,
Yes.
I don't think you're going to get too many arguments, and I think most people are going to agree that Keaton is better than Bale.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Now, and the one thing I do disagree, I did like Christian Bale, as Batman. I really did.
I like
he was he could do the action stuff better. He was a little more, he brought more physicality to that role. But he could do, and anybody that knows anything about Christian Bale, he is such a method actor that he literally went from one movie, The Machinist, where he lost 60, 70 pounds, was literally nothing. It was scary, disgusting how thin he was. And then put on, 40 pounds of muscle and immediately jumped into that role. So it was definitely. I
mean, at least
now, but I do agree. He sucked as Bruce Wayne. But then again, you'd already touched on Robert Pattinson. I mean,
I was going to bring him back.
You literally had an emo Batman for the first time. Yeah. He was emo.
I'll get into that.
Like all he did was pout and moan the whole time. Like he just brooded the whole time. It was almost like watching Edward from the Twilight movies trying to pretend like he's Batman.
I'm not, you know what? I'm going to have to say, I'm going to have to depart from that. I actually enjoyed Robert Pattinson's Batman.
I was going to say, when we get to that, I'll put my opinion in. I think also, man, I was not a fan of that Dark Knight trilogy at all. I mean, I guess Scarecrow was cool. The guy from Peaky Blinders.
No, I did like him. I thought he was killer.
That character, I think, in every Batman depiction he's been in, except for maybe the cartoons and maybe the video games, he's been underrated on the screen. There's so much more that character can bring that I think they did. I think they did the Scarecrow because his guy was the guy who played Scarecrow. I forgot his name. You brought it up.
Cillian Murphy.
Great. Thank you. Was great at that role. I just wish it was a more prominent villain. I wish they would give Scarecrow some more stage time. So.
No, I agree. Benj, I agree with you. I think Batman, as far as comic book goes and superheroes go, I think Batman had some of the coolest villains. I know for me, growing up reading the comics, I liked the villains more than I liked the superhero. Not necessarily that I wanted the villains to win or anything, but I thought that Batman had some of the coolest villains out there. And I don't know if it was mainly because he was a guy who didn't have superpowers and Gotham was just so rampant with bad guys that they were able to just run with it and come up. They also had some weird ass villains like Condiment Man and Polka Dot Man, and
yeah, but I mean, good lord, the DC, even Marvel had some of those. They had which one had Squirrel Girl or whatever? The squirrel. She could conjure squirrels to help. I mean, come on. So they went. I think they overstretched. Which, since we're talking about comic books, just to get it out of the way real quick, and you did say Wade Wilson earlier, I did go Monday night with my kid to go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh yeah,
and I can honestly say that was the best one yet. That was really worth the wait. I'm glad that they didn't build it up like they normally do with movies and show like the best, scenes just to get your attention. They kept it quiet the whole time, and fucking phenomenal movie. It was hilarious. Me and my kid laughed like idiots the whole time.
Dude, the penis jokes and shit and that is
Oh.
amazing. The innuendos. But next week, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it now. Next week, we're gonna discuss Deadpool, and there will be spoilers. It's already been out for a couple weeks. If you haven't watched it yet, tough.
Go see it.
Go see it. It's worth it. It is worth it. I disagree with it being the best, but I do agree it's definitely worth the hype.
It is a toss up between the first and that one for me, but the second one had its moments, but it lacked the continuity for me. Like it wasn't as funny. It had some cheap laughs, it had some good laughs, and it was good nonetheless. But bear in mind, I was also a strong critic from the get-go of Ryan Reynolds playing him. Because his delivery, and he's hilarious and everything. I love Ryan Reynolds. His deliveries are so dry, though. Like he doesn't,
I think that's part of his charm, though.
I guess.
I think, I would say, I think that's part of his him as
I think that's
quote unquote comedic.
His timing is spot on.
Yeah. It's like, I used to love Norm Macdonald. I thought Norm Macdonald was hilarious, but he was very dry and very cut straight to the, kind of to the point with it. But I thought he was hilarious. But no, Deadpool was definitely a great movie. I again, bench it on the head. The bad guys in Gotham were bad guys, not outer space invaders and over the top mutants for the most part. So.
That's something we can get into, like reality versus super far out there. Like you had mentioned the Joker movie, that's more like realistic, like
the Joaquin Phoenix
story as compared to like falling in a vat, like Jack Nicholson. But you guys hold that thought. We're going to go ahead and go to our first break. But before we go, remember BioLink down at the bottom if you want to reach out to us. It's going to be every Thursday. Actually, we're kind of thinking about maybe switching this to Friday, but that's some talks in the background. But I want to give you guys a heads up. And I already spoiled next week. It's going to be Deadpool. Jeff said he was going to be here tomorrow night. I'm going to see if I can't get a few people that has especially watched the movie. Remember, break time trivia, all wrong answers in the comments, please. And we'll see you in a bit. All right, and we are back. Yeah, I know. I need to get better music, sue me.
No, I was jamming, dude. You got the vibes really up there this time.
What's that?
Okay.
No, I was jamming to that. You didn't see me like I was dancing and everything
Oh,
over
I
here.
know. I was talking to Glick in his comments.
Hey, man, I've interviewed like, I don't know, 10, 15 artists. It has a plethora of music you can use.
Yeah, I guess it would help, promote their music and make mine better. But it's not about.
I've done one. I've done one so far.
Don't worry, I'll interview him and do it better. Don't worry, I'll fix it for you.
Good luck with that. You got to wear the merch first. That would be Gary Burke the third. He's actually got a song that he just came out with. He literally wrote it within hours after the Trump assassination attempt, and it's already got over 1 million views once he released it on. It's on Apple. It's on. Yeah, I'm giving him a shameless plug right now. It's on Apple, Spotify. A lot of people watch it on YouTube. I've obviously been plugging the shit out of it. He's a good friend of mine too. He's an up and coming country star.
What's the name of the singer?
Gary Burke the third, and the song is "Take It Back Again."
GB3.
Awesome guy. Very down to earth. I mean, obviously, like when he's in show mode, he's one of those ones. He'll still shake your hand, say hi, but you leave him be. Afterwards, though, like I mean, he'll treat you like family. He's a really good guy. At one point, I didn't even know this. He was signed to a major record label. Things weren't working out, and they parted ways. So now he does everything independently.
Okay, cool.
But that's not to say I'm not in touch with. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Rhonda Shear from USA Up All Night. That could be in my near future.
Ooh, who is he?
She, Rhonda Shear.
Oh,
Rhonda,
sorry. I heard the Ron part. Who is she?
USA Up All Night from the 90s.
She was. She hosted a show.
About?
Yes.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Gorgeous. She does very little with like mainstream stuff now. Now she's more about, especially since she's gotten up there in age, she does her own thing now where, she's got her own product line. She's constantly pushing at that. But if you Google USA Up All Night, she'll be the first thing that pops up. Rhonda Shear, former Playboy model, former actress.
Why don't
she was Miss Louisiana?
Elvira comes to mind for some reason, but I
she
think
is a hard. I'm finding out like I must be aiming too high because some of these celebrities, even the ones that are still kind of on the back burner now, are very hard to get a hold of. Like, I mean, you literally got to go through like 3 or 4 different middlemen before you get to the person you want to talk to.
Oh wow, Rhonda Shear. Oh, there she is, right there. Oh, okay. All right, I remember now.
But I mean, I've been in contact like on Facebook. I followed some of her lives, and we've chatted that way. Before I had to redo my Instagram, I talked to her a couple times. She actually responds to her fans in her messenger. So
okay,
why the hell not?
Fuck yeah.
I've got a couple other people in mind, and I'm gonna get up with the champ over there at some point. And like I told you before, your belt will be coming home with me at some point.
Ooh, challenge.
The student will become the master.
Trust me, I have nothing to fear. I've listened to your show.
Woo, there it is. Oh, you want to dig deep? You're gonna strike the nerve, are you?
Ooh, here comes the claws.
All joking aside, the man's helped me out a whole bunch. Like literally the day before, or actually the day of the interview, like I called him in a panic because I was still trying to figure out
Leggy.
a lot of stuff. And he literally took about an hour out of his time to sit down and he pulled up StreamYard, was showing me how to do everything. And I actually credit a lot of the success of that interview to the gentleman sitting right over here.
While I was preparing for our show.
While he was preparing, and he's been known to, like he'll pop in every now and then, say hi, how you doing, and he's kind of keeping up. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
So honestly, I mean, I'm willing to take a lot of shit from that guy. But at the same time, I know for a fact he's got my back. So I can't. It feels wrong to sit down and try and diss on his show. It really does. I'm too nice of a guy to do that.
Well, before we get into bringing in Robert Pattinson and Ben Affleck into the Batman thing, Glick, you have some stuff coming up. You want to go ahead and plug that stuff? I know you got interviews coming up and some live appearances.
I do have an interview, another interview coming up this
a handy and a reach around. That's all you had to pay.
Don't you worry about it.
What's this Tuesday? I'm sorry.
Don't you worry about our arrangement that we have. What is James?
Just smell his beard. You'll be able to tell how long we had to work.
Yeah. I want to make sure I say his name right. I do have an interview coming up this Tuesday with James Luker, another country rock guy. I got that coming up at the end of the month. I will be hanging out with the Southern Outlaws Band, and I believe Joshua Lee Nelson is the other act. Labor Day weekend, they're doing a couple of shows. I know the one for sure is for disabled veterans at the 5-4s or 4-5s. I got to remember this stuff. 5-4s Distillery up in Newton Falls, Ohio. And then they're going to be at the Iron Horse Saloon the next night. I'll be hanging out with them, doing some stage announcements, MC, crowd work, whatever they need me to do, helping out there at the show. And then on September 7th, I'm taking the show on the road, and we will be at Buckeye Battle Axe. So if you guys are in the Newark, Ohio area or in Newark, Ohio, come on out to Buckeye Axe Throwing. It's going to be their 1-year anniversary, and they're also going to be celebrating National Beer Day and Beard Day, and they'll be doing a beard competition. So I'll be taking the show there, and we will be live. The show, I'll be there. We'll be doing the show live like we normally do on Saturday nights, but I'll be there and doing whatever they need me to do, and hopefully hanging out with some of the. I'll try to get the owner and his wife to come on and chit chat for a couple minutes, and get some of the patrons there, and maybe some of the contestants in the beard contest. So,
part Glick is holding back is he's going to be judging the beard braiding competition. So.
Can I get my beard braided? Is that what we're gonna do? Who does the best braid? Just braid my beard in section.
It could be points for speed, creativity, and just all sorts of fuckery.
Can I get cornrows in my beard?
There you go.
But yeah, man, lots of. I'm gonna be busy the end of the month, and I'm booked solid all the way up through the beginning of September with guests on Glick's House of Music. Where my guest last Tuesday, Darren Ahonen, he's got new music coming out left and right. He'll be back on. He's also going to make an appearance on Cash's Corner. He wants to talk some wrestling with Cash and I. He revealed that he's a huge wrestling fan, which most people don't know that about him on the show last Tuesday. So he's like, yeah, I seen the show that you did with your son. I really liked it. And we got to talking, and he's going to come on at some point and hang out, which is crazy to me because that kid he's super famous on TikTok already, and he's just absolutely lighting up the music scene.
Cultural appropriation.
Oh. So the kid is doing a lot of things. And I'm stoked that he wants to come on this show as well. I told him the basis of this show. He was like, "Oh man, that would be fun. I'm down." So
It's turning into nerd talk, which I am not mad at.
Yeah. Hey, man. Speaking of nerd talk.
Yes, let's roll back into it. So tonight's main topic is Batman. We've already kind of talked a little bit about Michael Keaton Batman and Christian Bale Batman, but there's some other guys out there who's played Batman. The worst of all, and I think I dare to utter his name because he sucks that bad, Ben Affleck. And I probably fucked his name.
Get it
up.
right.
Batflick. And then
some respect on his name.
and then there's
better than Battinson.
And then there's the emo Batman.
Yes.
Which I think he did a pretty good job, but
let's
go ahead and roll into it.
I know. Gotta agree with you, Blaze. I think I was actually surprised by Robert Pattinson.
Brian, we've already discussed Val Kilmer, and he was dubbed to be the second worst, I think, out of
I don't know.
It's a close.
He's still better than Clooney.
Yeah,
Clooney just did not.
I think Clooney had more sex appeal.
Yeah, definitely. I was surprised by Pattinson. I went into that movie not liking it. Like I did not like. I went into it already like with the mindset I'm not gonna like this. But I like what they did with it. At early stages of he's not technically Batman yet. He's Vengeance, and it's still like the early stages. A little emo. I get it, but I think he did. I'm curious to see where this franchise goes.
I didn't like it at all. I didn't like what they did with Catwoman. The Riddler was an absolute joke. No pun intended. I will give Robert Pattinson some credit though. He trained really hard for the fight scenes and everything. So in costume, I'll grade him at least. Let me rephrase that. At most a 5, because I thought he was able to perform the fight scenes, but like even when he was doing his investigation, he was still that brooding, just stood there and stared, and it was just kind of. Now, granted, like you said, it's Batman. That should have been Batman Begins, honestly, because that was him fresh off his parents dying, and I like the storyline, which way it went, but I'm sorry. I think they took that movie into a way different. Like it's an absolute standalone when it comes to everything.
Yeah, no, and let's not forget Colin Farrell, unrecognizable as the Penguin.
Yes,
and I'm actually looking forward to that series.
I am very much looking. Irish drink to the Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I want to see the Penguin.
They're only little shots, guys. I'm not doing full shots. They're literally a finger.
You're good, man. No judgment here.
But no, I will say that I was definitely surprised, and I found myself really liking the new Batman. And I went into it. I was dead set. I'm like, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be horrible. But it was actually. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with the franchise. I want to see the next one. I want to see what their take is going to be on different villains and characters.
I'm with Brian. I think that in the newer ones with Robert Pattinson, they're leaning more heavily on his detective side. And I can
agree with that.
I dig that. I think that really, because. And I know this is the moderator injecting himself, because the last franchise with Christian Bale was more about, in my opinion, more about fight scenes and explosions, not the actual, there was a plot, but I think the Robert Pattinson ones are deeper and more well written.
Yeah. I thought you were the Dominator now.
I am the Dominator. No, I said I wasn't. God damn it.
Yes, Daddy, please.
I said don't finish that sentence. Don't finish that sentence. Yeah, safe words. Don't do it. No.
Safe word is I get dropped off the screen. Now, however,
No,
I will.
I don't.
I will. I will. I know I'm going to die on this hill alone, and I will. And I will accept my fate. I fucking love Ben Affleck, Batflick, as Batman. I thought he was good as Bruce Wayne. He was just arrogant enough, just cocky enough, but also cared about what he was doing and cared about the Justice League. And then as the alternate, as Batman, I thought he was good, and he was huge, man. He got jacked for that role.
It was all the suit.
Well, it was. I would say that it was like 75% suit. But if you've seen him outside of the suit, he got big for that. I mean, and this is also a guy who, every actor has the movies that they wish they didn't do. Ryan Reynolds has made it very clear that he wished he would have never done
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. I'm sure Ben has regrets about Daredevil. The only thing good that came out of Daredevil was and it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. Was Jennifer Gardner. Jennifer Gardner as Elektra. That was great in Daredevil. And
this is where it's fun, because I loved Daredevil. I thought Ben Affleck, that was probably one of his best roles outside of Good Will Hunting. Now, I mean, I know that sounds cheesy, but I mean, he is a very good actor for the most part. We'll put Reindeer Games off to the side, because that movie just. The only thing that was good about that was seeing Charlize Theron nude twice. Even Danny Trejo couldn't, save that movie. Yeah, and there was so much star power in that movie. It flopped horribly. I mean, when you got Gary Sinise and that movie was just primed to be great, and it sucked. It really did. But back to Ben Affleck, then he turned around. What? Didn't he play Jack Ryan? If I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't think.
He did. He did one of those Tom Clancy. He took over the role. The Sum of All Fears, was it?
Maybe.
He. But I thought he did very well in. Daredevil. He trained for the parts. But this was also younger Ben Affleck. He was still just kind of breaking out. Him as Batman, as Bruce Wayne, was awesome. Ben Affleck has a way of making you hate him. He can play the ultimate asshole. He really can. He's just as cocky no matter what. Even in real life, he's cocky. And this is coming from somebody that, actually enjoyed him in a movie called Jersey Girl.
You watch some gay movies.
I watch movies all the fucking time. I love movies. I'm a geek.
Ben Affleck, I will give you guys. I will give you that he definitely plays a good Bruce Wayne. However, I think he'd play a better retired Bruce Wayne. If you play retired Batman for like a Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond, something, that would be awesome.
And it was also the first time we really, and now granted it was called for, but it was really the first time we got to see Batman, basically be like, look, I have no superpowers. Flash, I can take you out. Aquaman, I can take you out. Wonder Woman, I will take you out. Superman, that was the cheesiest goddamn shit I've ever seen in my fucking life in Superman versus Batman. Take care of Martha.
Fan of it either.
What'd you say? Take care of Martha.
That's
what it was. Your mom share the same name, and that was the fucking turning point, not the giant fucking monster from God knows what planet that's destroying Metropolis. And that's what caused you guys to be friends. The fact that you and your mom. That was the dumbest goddamn plot twist, turning point of any movie I've ever watched. I'm like, seriously.
But, and see, the fun part is all this goes back.
You got to see that.
this also goes back to the original point. Who was the best Batman? It just, all this conversation is strengthened to point. Michael
Robert
Keaton,
Pattinson.
bar none, was the best Batman. Bar
I
none.
would
He
have
had,
loved to have had an Adam West guy up here, Jeff.
That's my Batman. That Batman came out 30 years before you were born. Shut up, Jeff. No, I will put Batflick up there in my top 3 favorite Batmans.
Yeah. Now I have to
He would
push
be
back
number
a little.
3 at best.
Actually,
Yeah,
I
he
think
would
I'm
be
gonna
3.
push back a lot on the Riddler. I think the Riddler in the new Batman was an up to date, definitely a recon of the character. I think it played into the current social zeitgeist of like internet trolls and cult behavior and shit like that. Like the
But that's what
terrorist
ruined it
man-
for me. That really did ruin it. You can do a lot with these characters. You can make them their own, but when you start bringing in like the social politics of everything,
Mhm.
it ruins it. It really does.
Okay.
So, like, I mean, honestly, the best Riddler goes all the way back to the show, back with Adam West, and it was Frank Gershon who originally played the Riddler on the Batman show.
I almost forgot about
I actually really liked
Jim Carrey killed it.
But I gotta say, the best Riddler in my opinion, and if you want to bring up television shows, and I think this television show absolutely fucking killed it with their characters, was Gotham.
I've been worried, I honestly, and it's fear that is keeping me from watching it because I don't want. I'm so worried that they're going to. Now I've seen shorts, and I think their build-up of the Joker character, from what I've seen, kind of really leans to his backstory a little bit more.
Jerome, that plays the Joker, is one of my favorite Jokers or portrayals of Joker. Gotham was so good, and it's like a prequel because it's Gordon when he's just a detective. It's
right.
You get to see the rise of the villains, Penguin, and that entire show, that entire cast is easily best Riddler, top tier Penguin, top tier Scarecrow, Joker, the best version you're ever going to see of Commissioner Gordon playing period dot into story. You get to see the rise of the Catwoman. She's amazing in it. I mean, every character they killed in that Gotham show. In my opinion, it was awesome.
Well,
sounds like the show is.
I can't debate it because I haven't watched it yet. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
Oh no, I've only seen like maybe the first couple episodes. I have a hard time getting into it, and I don't know why, but it seems like it's been more of a vehicle for like the prequel of all the villains before Batman needs to come along, I guess you can say. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, I definitely do. I do want to, but like I said, that fear of, I guess the fear of disappointment, and it's so hard for me to get into television shows nowadays. Like the last series I truly got into and can watch this one over and over and over, and surprisingly, even my wife got into it, was Californication. So for me,
that's a good movie.
I will never be able to look at David Duchovny as Agent Mulder again. To me, David Duchovny will always be Hank Moody, the brooding, self-destructive, alcoholic, druggy, free, sex-spirited writer with writer's block. Just, I mean, that show had literally everything. And the sad part is, I am the only person that has liked that show other than my wife. Everybody else is like, I couldn't get into it. It's stupid.
I thought it was a good show.
It was
a good show.
I thought it was phenomenal. It literally has every entertainment aspect you can think of in it. It touched on everything.
No, I feel that same way with oh shit, what the hell is that show? God, it has escaped. I'm sorry, my mind is on the next section. But Bob Saget. Like I used to like think of him as the dude from Full House, and then
Full
I
House.
and then I actually watched him as real stand up. I'm like, that dude is just perverted as I am.
Oh God,
I
he's
can't
horrible.
see him. Yeah,
He was
and I
dirty.
can't see him in any other way other than his perverted stand up. No, I get
And
that.
he kind of touched on it. If you ever see the movie Critical Condition with Richard Pryor,
Mhm.
Bob Saget's actually in that. He's a doctor, and it's the first time I've ever heard him drop the F-bomb, because to me he was always Danny Tanner, and to see him do that, and then after the fact finding out that dude behind outside of Full House, dude, he was something else. He really was.
That was a similar hurdle Michael Keaton had before he debuted as Batman. They're like Michael Keaton, his
Mr.
previous
Mom.
movies. Yeah, like he was the good comedian. He was the down to earth sort of the comedian you'd take your mom and dad to a stand up to.
What was it? Johnny Dangerously was my favorite one.
Yeah, and then keep Bob Saget's Bob Sagan.
I was just gonna say Bob Sagan.
Bob Saget, but he, I think, just like Robert Pattinson, like his role as Batman shocked a lot of people, and kind of cemented him into being one of the best Batman. And I think that's going to happen with Robert Pattinson.
I'm curious to see. Like I said, I'm curious to see where it goes. The path that it's currently on. I think they're definitely headed in the right direction for Pattinson to become a very good Batman. Now, like I said, when I say what road they're going to go down, now continue to grow the character. Don't keep the character the same for 3 movies. Grow him into Batman. Because sometimes movies do that. They're like, it's the beginning.
I don't think they will, because I mean he's going to be that brooding, and think about every role he has done since Twilight. Like he's always that brooding, he never fully. And what's funny is that's not even him. Like if you've ever seen any, like when he's on the MTV Movie Awards, like he gets out there, he's a funny dude. He really is. Like he is a fun-loving person. But every role he plays, he's always this brooding, just kind of, melancholy, monotone. It just, man, I mean,
that's like a good point, Brian. I was thinking about that earlier. He can actually move his head.
That's what I made the comment earlier about Christian Bale being able to move his head. Keaton couldn't even.
Yeah. The Batman, the movie Batman costumes have definitely evolved over time, including nipples and.
Oh God, yeah! I remember when they put nipples on the bat. That was the Batman, not Batman Begins. What was it? The
was that the Clooney one?
That was the Val Kilmer one.
Was it
when they introduced the new bat suit?
Bat nipples.
Bat nipples. Hell, what was that? There was Batman Return, and then I can't remember what the
nipples.
Right.
I need a lot more drink.
That's Connor's favorite Batman right there. Nipple man, nipple Batman, nipple Batman. Oh, words are hard. Bat nipple.
But you got to think
Connor's face,
like that whole
Batman costume.
Him not being able to move his neck and having to move his whole body. That worked with the character. And think back to all the different Jasons. Let's go this route for a second.
Yeah,
up until what was it, part 7, when God, see, now I'm going the one man that played Jason like 4 different times.
Kane Hodder.
And I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. I couldn't think of his damn name. He brought depth to that character. He was this big, muscle bound, and he just the deep breaths and the way he turned and everything. So like when you've got Batman can't turn his head. He's got to turn his whole body. It makes it a little more dramatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I see what you mean. However, when you're thinking it from the perspective of being a crime fighter, detective swinging across the rooftops, you would think you'd want that extra field of vision.
Mobility.
You're not struggling.
Now that's splitting hairs when you think about it, because Batman was always not only was he a genius, dude, he was a badass when you went hand to hand.
He's tactical. That's why I think the old Michael Keaton thing, Cower, he can't really move his neck or whatnot, I think goes against the essence of the character being smart and tactical and etc. I mean, it is splitting hairs because Michael Keaton's still a great Batman, but Michael Keaton himself didn't design it.
So look at it this way: instead of just turning his head and kind of looking around like this, he's already got his whole body turned, ready for what's coming next. Yeah. Whereas he goes like this, then he's got to turn his body and react. So instead, he's already got himself positioned.
This might take a physical debate with two people.
There we go.
We need an engineer, a physics major.
No, just two drunk guys in Batman costumes, and Michael Keaton
working on it.
And Christian Bale.
We'll get one half of that at least.
We're gonna go ahead and start rolling into our last break, and then when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and round it up with Batman's villains. Which one was his worst? Which ones were portrayed the worst or the best in movies? And let's oh yeah, by the way, bio links down in the banner thing. If you want to get a hold of us, you want to shoot Glick some hate mail, make fun of Jeff, hey, by all means, send Connor some get well fan nipples. Letters. That would be awesome. Nipples. He loves nipples. That would be awesome. All right, we'll see you in a few. And welcome back. Couple of comments right here. Where was Lord of the Rings? So, just real quick, I promise as the shows get more streamlined, the questions will be more thematical. They should have been Batman. But where was Lord of the Rings film? Wrong answers only. Somebody put New Zealand. Well, somebody didn't read the directions.
Right.
No, I thought it was going along with the theme. I said Gotham City. I mean, but I guess I was wrong.
Someone did say no. No, that's right. Wrong answers only. Glick's Wood Forest Treehouse, Hagrid's Hut, and somebody put. Yep, there he goes. Gotham's. Who is William Nasser? Is that you?
That would be me.
Oh, okay. I keep forgetting.
I didn't know when signing up for certain things, you didn't have to put your full official name.
Oh, and first off, and just to correct you,
no, it
real
just
quick,
it clicked. It just
William. Just to correct you, my name is Redneck Gandalf. All right, get it right. Brian's been calling me Redneck Gandalf for like 4 years now.
more like gay off. Anyway, so
You said what we did behind the rest stops wasn't gay.
well, I don't know. As much as you
Went to a rest stop? Oh, come on.
Look, hey, Blaze is a classy bougie bitch. I got to take him to high end places.
Yeah,
You guys went to Waffle House right next door, didn't you?
I'm not talking about the rest area where it's just bathrooms and vending machines. I'm talking about the ones with McDonald's and Subways.
Dude, I actually went to a bar the other day that still had the old quarter machine in it.
Nice.
Quarter machine.
Like when you went into the bathroom, they still had the, oof.
Oh, condom for a quarter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In the same one, you had the French tickler, you had the condom, you had the love kit, you had the glow in the dark, and they also had men's cologne. Go figure.
I see your schwanz is very long.
Come on. Come on. What?
Well, what?
Come on, what? I don't need, see, I already got what I was talking about. Batman, that's what we're talking about. All right, so we've all decided that Robert Pattinson is the best Batman, and if you just
Sure we did, yeah.
I thought it was Clooney or Kilmer in the nipples. I thought it was that
Nipples.
I want to give a couple honorary shout outs here as far as like, very good Batman characters. Now, granted, I know that they were cartoons. But Kevin Conroy is the king of Batman's voice in any animated series. And Will Arnett from Lego Batman was awesome.
Phenomenal.
See, this is why I think I should switch the show to Fridays, because this Batman discussion can go on for hours.
But don't forget, if we're going to go with Batman voices, honorary shout out to Mark Hamill for having the best Joker voice. That is Luke Skywalker was the voice of Joker.
The longest running voice of Joker.
Yeah, the best Joker of all time, hands down, period, dot, end of story. It's a shame Mark Hamill never did anything else other than just voice the Joker.
So
he's done a handful of other stuff, but he's more of a voice actor. He really is, and he's damn good at it too.
He's done a lot of
I remember seeing him in an old Skinamax flick with, if anybody remembers this 80s actor, Mark Singer, aka the Beastmaster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He did a Skin movie where they were both detectives, and this was after the famous, Jeep accident that he was in. And I mean, he showed he could still do it. But then again, he turned around and did Cockknocker and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. little known Mark Hamill role.
Speaking of Jay and Silent Bob, I can't go the night without at least bringing up Blunt Man. Probably my favorite
and Chronic
Batman. Yes, Blunt Man and Chronic. Absolutely.
That man, I'll tell you what, Silent Bob. The guy's a genius. He really is, and he's a comic book geek. If you're going to do this, I would love to have a gentleman like that on here, Kevin Smith, and battle him over the comic book characters and absolutely just get throttled.
Thank you, sir. May I take another? You will beat me with Stan Lee's rolled up copy of Incredible.
It wasn't just. I mean, yeah, he was a Marvel guy, but I mean, his knowledge, like his movies, everything, like he was part producer of Good Will Hunting way back in the day, and I alluded to that earlier, which is AKA Robin Williams' best role ever.
Kevin Smith is a smart motherfucker, that's for sure. Man.
Don't forget Jason Mewes.
Great movies. Jason Mewes, amazing. He's played in some good movies. There's a movie, a horror movie with him in it that I've been meaning to
Bitten.
Put that money.
That's it, Bitten. Yep.
Where he got, he was dating a vampire chick, and we all know what her best role in that was. Honestly, just saying.
I guess I'm gonna have to watch it. Well, we've discussed Batman's, and we've brought up Joker's, one of the villains, Mark Hamill. Before we go into the topic of, the worst villain, best villain, the villain with the most challenge, brought the most challenge to Batman, just real quick. I don't know if you guys have watched the new Batman animated series. I only bring this up because somebody brought up the old animated. Have you guys watched that yet on Prime?
Are we talking about Lego Batman?
No, it just came out last week. It's a brand new.
I know. It's supposed to be a more adult-oriented.
It's called Batman Cape Crusader. Yes. It's different. The perspective that they're writing it from, I think, is a little different than what we're usually all about or used to, I guess. But it's okay. I got to rewatch it. I watched the first couple episodes and was distracted trying to watch it, so I need to rewatch it. But I didn't know if any of y'all two have watched it yet and what your opinion.
I hadn't even.
I have not. But the thing of it is, when it comes to like Amazon Prime, I think they're trying too hard to be edgy. Like if you watch The Boys, which is based off of a graphic novel, if I'm not mistaken, good show. But I think it goes just a little bit over the top, almost to the point of cartoonish with their, a lot of their stuff that they do on Prime, they're trying to push the edge as close as they can get. Yeah. And, they're forgetting the whole, people watch movie for the acting, believe it or not, I used to watch 80s porn for the acting. I thought it was amazing.
Hey, Perry, I think there's actually a remake in the works.
I agree. That was great.
If the rumors are true, they are in the works to make a new Highlander franchise. I would absolutely love to see a new Highlander.
I love the franchise. I love the television show.
Was great. The last one sucked. Let's be honest. The very last one they did was horrible.
The series I thought was pretty cool. It kind of
the series was good.
Yeah.
After Endgame, they did one more with who's the guy that took over? There was Connor McLeod and Duncan McLeod. Connor McLeod, I can't remember the actor's name. He was the guy that went on to do the. They did one more after that. It was stupid. The plot line sucked. Like it took away from the entire series. But what I like about the rumors coming up, they're talking about rebooting the original Highlander and bringing back Christopher Lambert as the Mr.
Miyagi.
Damn it, James Bond played him.
Sean Connery type.
Sean Connery. He's going to come in as the Sean Connery role.
Okay. You know what, Leggy? You know what? Maybe you should try out. Be there can only be one. Well, there can only be one Scottish Viking warrior lady that can. Yeah.
Oh, good. He'll be like the world's best golf player. Fantastic. I can't wait to see it.
I mean, Sean Connery was in the Highlander movies.
The first two, he was in there. Yes, he was Ramirez.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Connery's a Scottish actor, correct?
Uh-huh.
Sean Connery?
And Adrian Paul, who played
Paul, yes.
Adrian Paul, who played him, I think, in a couple movies and in the series. I mean, he's English, but basically the same thing.
Test Americans are all the same, right? Right, Leggy? All right, so Batman villains. Ooh, there's been a lot of renditions of the Joker.
From the movies,
although,
are we sticking to the
no,
movies?
You don't. No,
across the board. Then,
like me personally, I think Slade Wilson is probably Batman's most formative foes, in my opinion. But it's not about my opinion. I'm only the moderator.
Deathstroke was more of a Green Arrow villain. He just kind of crossed over and fucked with everybody. But Slade Wilson was a badass, man. He was.
Well, I don't personally like the way they portrayed Slade Wilson in that show Green Arrow. Maybe
the best one was at the bonus scene at the end of Justice League.
Yes,
and the guy that's married to Sophia, but he was from Magic Mike.
Alcide from True Blood, Manganiello, Joe
Manganiello.
Yeah,
who's from here in Pittsburgh, believe it or not. He started his career. His career was
not
he was
anything to brag
here.
about. That's not something to brag about.
Plenty to brag about. You're just pissed off because you know our boys are going to stomp you this season. 100. You got lucky because we're going to split hairs, and that's why Myles Garrett got. And everybody said TJ. Okay, I'm sorry, we went off. Next subject. That's actually going to be next show.
I'm going to ban sports
my jersey because I knew you were going to wear the Browns. I almost put it on.
I'm banning sports.
Cheers.
The Dominator.
Cheers.
Yes, Daddy. No more sports.
There's only one rule. I rule. There's no sports.
Daddy plays the Dominator.
Okay, we all know the Steelers are the best, so we'll go on with there.
The only time we'll have a sports discussion is each guest has to come up wearing their paint, their body paint, and they have to wear the foam fingers. The only way.
Leggy, who's the NFL team over in Scotland? You got to tell us, girl. We got to at least get that answer before we really get going. I'm very interested in knowing that because they've branched over into Europe a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the idea of
McAvoy would be a great Duncan, a great Highlander. I love
him. He's buffed too, dude. He's buffed the fuck up too.
Yeah.
You know what? If you really want to go that route, I could see Colin Farrell being a damn good Duncan MacLeod.
Oh, let's go.
I really do.
Batman.
I guess Ewan McGregor would be really good too. I like him a lot too. But
I don't know if he could play in a movie like that. I mean, I could like Roadhouse was one part.
I know he's Irish, and I know.
But when he needs to like have actual more complicated lines, I don't know if he could pull that off.
Not Conor McGregor, Ewan McGregor.
Oh.
I was like, sorry. What is he talking about?
I got my McGregor.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to come out with this movie. It's going to be Jason Momoa playing Duncan MacLeod, and it's just going to be.
You know what? Speaking of Jason Momoa in comic books in DC, I want to see him play Lobo.
I do too. Jason Momoa play Lobo.
Yeah.
I want to see that too.
Pull that off. A lot better than Aquaman.
I thought he was decent at Aquaman. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. I thought he did good, actually. I was impressed.
It wasn't bad compared to that character anyway. I mean, it's Aquaman.
What's funny is, the man gets cast in all these huge, he's going to be buffed up. He just plays this big muscle head in everything he does. She's good. No. I gotta agree with him. No. If you've seen Roadhouse, that's the extent of his acting chops.
He's sitting there. He walks in he's sitting there holding his pecker in his hand. There can only be one.
There can be only one fucking Highlander.
Damn it! I lost. We were talking about something right before that. Oh, Jason Momoa. Yes. He gets cast in all, like he was Conan. He was in God damn it, man! I'm just like misfiring left and right now.
That's
Game of
fine.
Thrones. You know, he was also in the Fast movies. He was in Bullet to the Head with Stallone. Plays all these muscle guys. He was Aquaman. The man absolutely hates going to the gym. He absolutely hates going in there and having to do all this work to get these roles. He wants to be him, he said.
Yeah.
That commercial he did where he goes in and he takes off the bodysuit and he's a super skinny, kind of, nothing. He said that was more him than anything.
Interesting. Huh.
He does. He truly hates going to the gym. He hates being that, he wants to break away from that.
I would totally hate being ripped with long hair and a nice
I know, right?
and women throwing themselves at me and being a millionaire. That would just
phenomenal.
You're not gonna make me feel sorry for Jason Momoa in any way, shape, and or form. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, Jason, but it's not happening, buddy. Shut up. Maybe you should have picked a different career choice.
You know what? I will say this for Aquaman, only because Jason Momoa played it. At least he helped that franchise more than Black Adam. The Rock hurt the franchise.
Oh God, I cannot bring myself to watch that. I've heard it was horrible.
It
did so well, but like ever since it's gone to like cable now or whatever you stream, they said, I mean, it's just plummeted. And The Rock's a good actor. He's
easy.
Amazing. And I'm one of the few people out there that liked him in Doom. I
liked him in Doom. I actually liked that movie. Doom wasn't a bad movie. And he wasn't that bad.
I'm not going to go as far as say a great movie, but
my bias, awesome. All his recent stuff is just
the problem with Black Adam was The Rock. I'm sorry, I just put somebody else in that role. It was a cool film. It was a cool storyline. You got to see some characters that we hadn't got to see yet. Take The Rock out of it. Put somebody else.
And I felt that way about the Scorpion King. I did not like the Scorpion King. Yeah. They could have, I know that's the movie that skyrocketed him to stardom. But in my opinion, I really enjoyed him in even what was that? San Andreas. He can do drama. I liked Rampage. I thought he was hilarious in that. He showed he can do comedy.
He's just The Rock.
Jumanji.
He's just The Rock in everything. That's all he is.
Well, he'll always be The Rock. As much as he can try and break away from that, he wants to be called Dwayne Johnson outside, and people still call him The Rock no matter what. He's grown to accept it. But come on, the man became famous because of his time in WWF and then turned into WWE. Rocky Maivia, I love that character.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying he's just in every role. He's just The Rock. He's big, muscle bound, meathead guy, and might drop a few funny lines here and there in some movies, or in movies that call for it. But he's
big cool. How about that one?
It's just he's gay Rock.
He was gay Rock in that one. He's
Rock. You're Rock, but you're gonna be gay. Yeah, I'm not. There are some movies that he's done that I like. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't like the Fast and Furious franchise at all, but I liked Hobbs and Shaw. I think that was more Jason Statham than The Rock. But
the second one was the best one. After that, it really went to shit. Tokyo Drift sucked. And here we straight off again. So movie villains.
Oh no, you're fine, man. That's what happens when you're discussing movies and actors and we branch out.
You go.
Movie villains, Batman. There's been a lot of renditions of Joker. Some good, some bad, some Jared Leto bad.
Shut your whore mouth.
Wow. I was going to give him a shot up until that point.
Yeah. You just don't like.
I don't like Jared Leto.
No. 30 Seconds to Mars, great band. It really is. Said nobody else ever, but hey.
I mean, he was great in Fight Club too because he got his face bashed in.
I agree on that. Me and my kid just watched that 2 nights ago.
Fair.
My son had no idea what he was getting into. He thought it was going to be Bloodsport when he saw Fight Club, and it was nothing like that. He still enjoyed it, but He was very disappointed. As was I when I first watched it.
Yeah.
I'm over him too. I'm over Kevin Hart as well. I swear to God, I think The Rock just keeps him in that fanny pack that he carries. It's just fucking random Kevin Hart moments. I mean, Kevin Hart's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. I'm just over it.
Yeah, but he's just one punchline after another. I mean, he always plays the same. I want to see Kevin Hart outside of comedy just one time. And the closest he came was the movie Fool's Gold, where he was rapper. What was it? Big Bunny B, or Big Bunny D. He was a little more serious, and he was a little thug, little gangster, but he was still Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Now, I enjoyed Jared Leto's version of the Joker. I liked it. I thought he did a good job. I liked the way they went with it.
The tattoo on the hand, that was something brand new.
Yeah.
Like we had the mouth on the back of the hand, and when he laughed.
Yeah.
That's why I said he was psychotic in that one.
I said he was a little. He was a gangster, a little thuggish, psychotic, but he was also very methodical.
Yes.
Like everything he did was just planned to a T,
I felt like
mapped out, and
his relationship with Harley Quinn in that movie was amazing. Like that showed the actual relationship, like the true relationship, the comic book relationship that those two had. Loves her. That's his world. But he, you know what? In the end, he will still sacrifice her. You know, if it means his preservation. That was my thought on it, though. I mean,
yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it was a very good depiction of their relationship. And you know, I know that this isn't a popular opinion, and I know somebody else was supposed to play the role. But I'm not really mad at Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
That was.
I mean, it was corny, it was cheesy.
It was horrible. The whole movie sucked, honestly. The only saving grace for that Batman was Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. I thought she pulled it off perfect. That and Uma Thurman was an absolutely amazing Poison Ivy. She had the sex appeal. She fit the role perfect. They could not have cast a better person. And if they ever do another Poison Ivy, I'm going to be very disappointed if they do not look at Uma Thurman to reprise that role.
Well, I think you know the downside to that with going with the new quote unquote generation and younger versions and stuff like that, you know, and nothing against Uma Thurman because I think she's a phenomenal actress, and
Batman Forever. That's what it was. Thank you. That answered the question from earlier.
Batman on Ice is what I used to call it.
No, that was Batman and Robin. That was Mr. Freeze. But Batman Forever had Two-Face and Riddler, and
I would be curious. I would love to see them reprise or bring back Poison Ivy, and I would be curious to see what new actress or you know that they would have play the role. So there's a lot of actresses out there.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega, because they're throwing her and everything too.
No way. No way.
I was joking.
Oh.
God, I wouldn't actually go with that. No.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It was like a Kevin Hart joke. He's in everything.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I about got my head stomped in with that comment.
Yeah.
You know who might actually could probably pull it off, and this is kind of a long shot. I think that what's her name? Allison Sweeney from Euphoria. I think she could pull off. And before she went batshit crazy, I would have went as far as to say Johnny Depp's ex, the one that was in Aquaman.
Oh,
Amber
Heard.
Yeah. I think she could have been a decent Poison Ivy.
She could be.
She could have been. She still might be. I mean, it's just because she's, you know, look how many actors out there are fucking stupid outside of, you know.
I did not know they were coming out with Batman Forever.
Like, I mean, you brought up Norm Macdonald. That dude was just off the freaking walls. Like, he was just a so far. But when you put him on camera, amazing. And believe it or not, Johnny Depp's another one. Like, I mean, he's highly intelligent, but you take him off camera. I mean, anybody that watched that trial, like he is just he's a goofball. He really is. He's he's on a different level than everybody else.
He's very.
But these people can still do these amazing roles, and I think Amber Heard, if you put her back in front of that camera, she's still going to produce some awesome movies. So that's
a possibility.
That's my half glass full take on Amber Heard.
What do you think about Aaron Eckhart's Two-Face role and
awesome
the potential it had that it never was given? Yeah,
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, and as much as I love Tommy Lee Jones, he was so much better as Two-Face than Tommy Lee Jones even. Tommy Lee Jones played him very well. Don't get me wrong. But Aaron Eckhart is just, I mean, dude, he's a next level actor when it comes to this sort of thing.
Yeah. That
man, he is so underrated when it comes to Hollywood movies. I don't think he's ever been in a movie that has bombed, aside from Any Given Sunday, which I absolutely loved as a football movie.
You think that movie bombed?
Oh, it bombed in the theaters. Yes, it did. It did horrible. That was Oliver Stone even said that he was disappointed in how that movie came out. But I thought that movie was awesome. Aaron Eckhart was awesome, even though he didn't have the biggest role in it. He was an offensive coordinator. But Aaron Eckhart is one of those very underrated. Everything he does, I feel, is very good. Like, I mean, he's a phenomenal actor. And I don't think he gets enough credit. I don't think he gets enough roles, whether that's, him choosing his roles or what, but him as Two-Face was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight altogether was like the star power in that movie for that time, especially. It's really hard for me to say that The Dark Knight was a bad movie in any sense. It really did good. Like the ending, Batman's sacrifice. I know I'm the good guy right now, but I want everybody to believe that I'm the one that killed, Commissioner Gordon. And, it just, that movie, Dark Knight, aside from who's the best Batman, was the best out of the franchise. It really was.
Okay.
Because it touched on everything. And in all three of those movies, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, were all standalones. The first two, the first four Batmen were a standalone. The new Justice League Batmen are standalones. And now we've got the Batman, and it's going to be a standalone series.
Yeah.
Now, I've said that Robert Pattinson was by far he wasn't the worst. I still think George Clooney was the worst. And I'm a George Clooney fan, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, he has.
He'll always be ER. But, I mean, he showed comedic chops. He's shown drama. He's shown action. He's another one. I remember him from back in Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, wow.
1988. Wow. He said, there you go. There's a movie for you.
Wow. Holy shit, he was in that, wasn't he? Fuck.
Yes.
That's like remembering Jennifer Aniston being in the fucking Leprechaun movie.
Oh God, I just watched that yesterday. Just yesterday. Woo! And that was Wicket. Warwick Davis. He will forever be known as the Leprechaun because of that role. But that all being said,
he was, yeah, maintenance guy in Facts of Life. He was.
Each series has been a standalone. And, I could even go as far as to say, like, you had the Tim Burton Batman, and then George Clooney, that Batman and Robin, I couldn't tell you who was the director, or, I mean, it's short. I think it might have been, Joel Schumacher. Might have been. But that movie just, I mean, for the star power, there was no connection for me. Yeah. I felt Schwarzenegger can't do comedy. Aside from Twins, I thought that was a good movie. but
Well,
what was the
you,
other one? Kindergarten Cop. But
yeah,
he's always like you said. What
remember.
about The Rock? He's always going to be that big muscle bound. He's Commando. He's Total Recall. He's the Terminator.
He's
So
90s
once you
action
get these
hero.
iconic roles, it's really hard to break away from them. Just like Christian Bale, he'll never get away from the Batman role. And he's had a lot of great roles. He really has. Robert Pattinson, he's always going to be known as Twilight. Now let's jump ship just a little bit when you think about it. Daniel Radcliffe, all the the other movies he's been in since. How can you not see him being anybody but Harry Potter? And I think when you get these roles, and especially a series, a successful series at that, it's really hard to break away from that.
Mm.
So for me, Robert Pattinson as Batman, it's really hard for me to break him away from the Edward role in Twilight. So
That's fair enough.
That's where the debate comes in.
Sparkly
I still
vampire.
see him as Edward, a sparkly vampire. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? And I hate to say this. Yes, I watched a lot of gay movies. I, believe it or not, did like the Twilight series. I don't like the direction it went after the first one, but I thought
the first two were okay, and then it kind of lost me. My ex-wife made me watch them because she read the book series, and the first two I was like, all right, this is kind of, and then it lost me.
I did read the books with my wife too.
Halfway through the second one, I was lost. What
killed me is I just said all that about these people that have these phenomenal roles and they can never break away. And this is a real strong point. Kristen Stewart. What really has she done since?
Not much.
The Twilight. She did Charlie's Angels, a lot of independent movies, and the only thing that kept her relevant, and I know people are going to say this might be a little bit sexist, the only thing that has kept her relevant in the movies since, because there's been very few that she's done, is where she finally went topless. She felt like her career at this point, she had to start showing skin to really, but she cannot break away from Edward or from Bella in the Twilight series.
What role was that? I haven't really been watching it.
She did a movie called she was in a rendition of Lizzie Borden. It was called Lizzie.
Okay.
And they turned, and it was a weird spin on the Lizzie Borden thing. They made Lizzie Borden out to be a lesbian. Mm-hmm. So she fell in love with, the handmaid, and the handmaiden helped her kill her parents. And of course they both had to be naked a couple times. She was also in a movie. I want to say it was called Shopping. She's done a couple other independent movies where she was, and it was just really weird. Like these roles all required her to be naked.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was going to say, the kind of bring it back around. I think the one thing that we kind of left out with, as much as we give Batman Forever and Batman and Robin shit and about how bad they were, we also have to remember these were more commercialized movies. They were made more for quote unquote kids because you had a fuck ton of toys that came out from them. McDonald's got involved. You could go get Happy Meals with the Batman Forever or Batman and Robin toys in them and stuff like that. So they made them a lot more cheesy and kind of campier, I guess you could say, than the first couple. But I was sitting here thinking, I had a thought to go back to the Poison Ivy thing. Mm-hmm. Who could play her today? And Emma Stone, I think, would be a really cool Poison Ivy.
Emma Stone probably be pretty good.
But even above her, and I know before everybody freaks out, but she's in Marvel. Trust me, people bounce back and forth all the time.
Yeah. There is an actress.
Elizabeth Olsen would be an amazing Poison
And I
Ivy.
agree with that 100%. And I'm going to add one more to that. and I'm trying to think of her name. She was in Zombieland. Emma Roberts.
Yes, Emma Roberts.
I feel
I
like
was
she could
thinking
play
Lindsay
a
Lohan.
very good.
Listen,
I mean, if you want to take a '90s actress, you're gonna like this one. Here's a real long shot for you. I honestly feel like Neve Campbell
in her heyday, yeah, she
could pull off.
Have you guys seen that
Honestly.
movie? I know this movie has Jenna Ortega in it, but I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about another actress in the movie.
Mia
What's
Goth.
the movie?
Her, yes.
Mia Goth is Mia Goth is a modern day Wednesday Addams. What was the girl that played Wednesday Addams in the original? Not the original. Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Which, if we were still talking about '90s, Christina Ricci might have been able to pull off a Poison Ivy. It's really hard to beat Uma Thurman. I think she could reprise the role.
Yeah, I think the new younger generation. I think Elizabeth Olsen would absolutely kill it as Poison Ivy.
That's a hard debate. That really is hard to debate.
Yeah.
That would be a phenomenal. Okay, since we're still talking about the one that played Black Widow.
Yeah, but I think Scarlett. I think
Scarlett Johansson. I think.
Yeah, I think she's so locked in and intertwined as an Avenger that I don't know.
Look at the movie Skin. Remember the movie Skin she was in?
Yeah, it would just be weird to see her do the crossover into the DC world. Even though, like I said, Elizabeth Olsen is Scarlet Witch. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that would be an easier flip than Scarlett Johansson jumping ship and going to DC. And even still, I'm leaning more towards like the younger variants or a younger version. Is with especially with this new casting. But Mia Goth, I could see her ending up in this new the Batman series franchise.
So that
I got one more.
Go ahead. I was going to say you put that up there about Jennifer Love Hewitt. And I saw that comment when he posted it. Mm-hmm. The only thing I don't like about J Love is most of the role she's played. And if anybody has watched the new, the 911 series from Fox, and I think they went to NBC now and so on and so forth, she always, it's really hard to see her play Poison Ivy because she always plays this whiny character. She's more about the drama, oh gosh, what was that? She did I Know What You Did Last Summer. Mm-hmm. And then she also did that Can't Hardly Wait. She was on with I can't remember the 90s show. But either way, I can't see J Love doing that. Because she's another one of those that plays the same character in everything she does. So to have her try and break away from that and do something completely different, I can't see her being a good Poison Ivy.
I know the perfect actress in my opinion. She played in Jesus fuck, it all escapes my mind. She played on a show on the CW where she was the daughter of some mother. No
Ghost
Whisperer. Gilmore Girls. No, the chick who played the daughter in Gilmore Girls. She's playing on something more recent. She's more grown up, but I think she'd be great as Poison
Ivy. I could see that. She could, because before Poison Ivy became Poison Ivy, she was kind of mousy and shy and
right.
Yeah, and then she gets that newfound confidence.
Before we go, I wanted to ask you guys, just real quick, we had touched on Robin a couple times. And every time, like, Gordon Levitt never played it, even though they said he was going to. Chris O'Donnell, dude, he played it, sucked at it. They really haven't been able to portray Robin, I think, in Hollywood in a way that really captures the audience or does the character any justice. What do you think, or what's your suggestion?
I don't think they've actually been able to, outside of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they really haven't gone down that avenue. Now,
Burt
if you
Ward
watch
was the best one up until him.
yeah, now if you watch Titans, the live action show, it's on HBO. You get every Robin. You get Dick. You get Scott, and then Bruce's son. But you get them all three as the Red Hood.
It's a good point, Brian.
What the fuck is his name? I can't remember.
That's
the first
really
Robin.
good. I saw that too.
Yeah.
Nightwing. You get Red Hood, Nightwing, and then the youngest Robin being
Drake,
Bruce's son, and in this series. But they all have their moments of flashback to be Robin, and they did a really good show, a really good job with this show, Titans, and it's probably the best on-screen representation of Robin and the other versions of Robin as well. But I don't think we've really gotten. I mean,
so in the comics, Robin was always first portrayed as a kid, maybe not a kid, but sort of
I'm
like.
not saying anything about Batman, but he had a fondness for young boys.
Well, but my point.
I'm not
point. The point I wanted.
He was lonely and he was a millionaire, like he couldn't afford it.
The point I was trying to get to is the first Batman with O'Donnell. He was an adult, full ass grown ass adult. Like, okay, and then you have Gordon Levitt. He was already a cop. And they were talking about, see, when that actor portrays Dick Grayson at that age, by comic time frame, shouldn't he be Nightwing by then? So if they were to bring a Robin in, like, at what
there'd be no point in doing a Robin. Honestly, they should just jump right into Nightwing. Is what you? Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Agree.
And that's what Titans does. They jump right in. Grayson is Nightwing, but you see the flashbacks of when he was Robin.
Okay, bring Nightwing straight forward, but do flashbacks to kind of fill in those gaps.
Which is what Titans do, and they do the same thing with the Red Hood, and then the actual Robin is Bruce Wayne's son, being the youngest Robin and being the youngest member of, or he was actually the leader of the Teen Titans. So they do a good job on that Teen Titans.
Was he? But I don't think Robin was his son, didn't he? I think if I remember,
Robin wasn't.
I'm sketching on my whole comic book.
No, at one point in time,
wasn't he?
He was an orphan.
Yeah, well, I thought he had a kid. At one point, he had an actual son. I think was Selena.
Yes, no,
not
with
I think it was a standalone comic, though, wasn't it?
It was Raj Al Ghul's daughter that he had a kid. His name is like Drake or some shit like that.
Yeah, something Wayne. But there's an actual Wayne that does become a Robin as well.
Yeah.
So I want to. There's not really much. I want to ask you guys something. We haven't touched on this, and she's a huge character in the Batman world. Catwoman, Pfeiffer, Halle Berry, Hathaway, or the new or Zoe Kravitz.
I'm gonna sound old school here, but I'm sorry. As much as I loved Hathaway's version, I think the true essence was hit. And it could be because it was all Tim Burton when you think about it. Like all the characters he did stayed true to the comic book. He was more of a comic type guy anyways. Like his stuff was but Michelle Pfeiffer for me all day. She had the sex appeal. She had the chops to do it. Like she could, she was both Selena Kyle and Catwoman. I feel, and did I think Anne Hathaway did a good job? Yes. Aretha Kitt, way back in the day. Of course, there was two different Catwomans back in the show. There was Aretha Kitt, and I can't remember the other woman's name right offhand. But two different people played Catwoman during the show. And Aretha Kitt was the most famous one.
I thought it was
But
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt? Is it?
I thought it was Eartha.
I could be wrong. It might be. Either way, her last name's Kit. We can agree on that. But
So,
yeah,
I'm kind of
I feel
like. Go ahead.
Zoe Kravitz's character. It's really hard for me to back anybody from the Batman movie. Like, I was not a fan of how they portrayed the Riddler or Catwoman or Batman. The only good saving grace and the only thing we've been able to agree on that movie was Colin Farrell was the Penguin. But then again, I still say Danny DeVito was the best Penguin. I think that man, but that's the evolution of acting, though. Like, so, I mean, you have to progress. If you do the same thing over and over, and I think that's what pisses people off about all these reboots we've been seeing. You got to remember, like, everybody's given the new Crow that's coming out, which I will go and see. I'm going to take my kid.
I'm looking forward to it, actually.
I'm interested. We go from gothic to emo, and I saw an interview, a podcast. It was a goth talking about the new Crow coming out, and he said it best. And I think that it doesn't just go for the Crow. I think it goes for all of it. It is the evolution. Back then, goth was really starting to take off. It was the 90s. You had goth. You had, the grunge era was kicking in. The Seattle wave that came through. So movies today, they have to update it to try and fit in with today's crowd, what they're looking for. Because otherwise, you would literally be doing the same exact movie. You have to put a spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that with Top Gun's Maverick. They kept true to the original, but they put today's spin on it. Does that mean it's always going to work? No. Sometimes you just need to leave certain movies alone. Like they're getting ready to do The Lost Boys. I'm not looking forward to that one because that one's just
yeah. I didn't
when you look at Zoe Kravitz playing, go ahead.
I said I didn't know they were rebooting the.
They have to have.
Oh man, I don't know.
They have to have sexy sax guy has to be in it.
Oh, Kiefer Sutherland himself. There's been talk about some of the originals coming back. Obviously, you can't have both, Corey's back anymore. R.I.P. Corey Haim.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the Crow. It's another character. Yes, agree. Okay.
Feldman has lost his goddamn mind.
Well, but with Zoe Kravitz, I mean, I think they tried too hard with the newest Batman.
I think it's still a little bit too early since they've stated that the Batman is going to be a quote unquote franchise. I think it's a little bit too early to cast
Aaron Eckhart.
Yes, agreed. We already touched on that actually.
I think it's a little bit too early to cast too much judgment on the characters because we're just getting to see the development and like I said, the cool thing about the Batman is that they're going back. This is the beginning. This is when he's just becoming Batman and Selina's just becoming Catwoman, and these characters are developing into their roles. I mean, I loved Pfeiffer. Don't get me wrong, but Hathaway, again, not a fan of the Dark Knight trilogy or the series, but there was a couple characters in that movie that I really liked, and Hathaway, I thought she absolutely killed it. I thought she, in both worlds, Catwoman, Selina, I thought she killed it. No disrespect to Michelle Pfeiffer, but Michelle's number 2 in my books, and Hathaway comes in with number 1.
But the thing of it is,
thank you for being pretty, Halle Berry, and thank you for thank you for being from Ohio, and thank you for being pretty. But you're Catwoman.
Thank you for doing Monsters Ball. Hey, appreciate that one.
You've done a lot of great movies, Halle. You were ass as Catwoman.
I went to see Swordfish only because Halle Berry did her famous scene. I'm not gonna lie, and it turned out to be a good movie.
Gentlemen, and sorry, Dave. I think we touched on Bane a bit. I'm gonna start winding this down. We hit the 2-hour mark. That's about all I have on a Thursday. Again, we're in talks of moving this to Friday so we can keep it going. But I want to thank PJ Dill for
Agreed.
coming up. God, love the discussion. Thank you for being a wealth of knowledge in all things Batman. Glick, thank you too. Right, shoot. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and plug the weekly lineup real quick for all the Nonsensical Network sister shows. Monday nights we got Men Caring for Men. Tuesday night we had Glick's House of Music interviews coming in soon and hot. He's fully booked. Wednesday night we have What the Fuck News. Thursday nights, well, you're here on Whose Argument Is It Anyway, where the discussions can keep going if there wasn't a time limit. Sorry about everybody down there, because I would love to keep doing this. Everybody should write Glick a petition to have this moved to Fridays.
Dude, I'll go overtime if you want me to. We can keep this going, dude. I love it. I'm having a blast.
Unfortunately, I can't on a Thursday night.
All you have to do is tell me when.
Yeah.
All you have to do is tell me when you want to go to Friday night, and we'll put it out there as the new Friday night show.
Yeah, because I think these discussions can go for a while. Because Dave had brought up Bane, and I want to thank the audience for participating tonight. You guys are awesome because there's so much in the Batman world. We didn't even touch video games. We didn't even scratch that surface.
We just put the tip in.
I'm glad because I haven't been a gamer for a long time.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Friday nights. Go ahead, Glick. I'm sorry. Just put the tip in.
We just put the tip in on Batman.
Just the tip. Just the Batman tip. The Batman nip. Just the nip.
We could do this for the next couple hours, honestly.
just the bat tip. Just the bat tip.
So right now, Friday nights is
Wing.
Friday night freshness. Wait, no, not for. Oh, there's definitely freshness. Flashback Fridays, and occasionally Glick's new show with his son, Cash's Corner, where they talk nothing but wrestling. Get your Super Slam's already passed, huh? So what's coming up next? I have no idea. I don't want.
What is the next pay-per-view? I can't remember.
I'm not gonna lie, Glick. I'm gonna have to rip on your I might have to steal part of your idea, dude, about having your kid come on there. I would love to sit down with mine sometime and just like do a show, me and him talking about the way the music I like, music, movies, so on and so forth, and getting a perspective on today's teens, honestly.
Generational.
Yeah, the generational gap.
That's a good idea, dude.
So
hell yeah.
I'm not trying to steal your show, but I might have to rip a little bit of your idea, brother. Sorry.
Saturdays.
I'm letting you know ahead of time because I really, dude, that's awesome. That really is a great idea.
That's why
you are the champ right now. Yes, sir.
That's why you'll never get the belt because you're just a knockoff Wish version of Glick.
He's got a tag team partner in his corner now for those cheat hits. Saturday nights we had the flagship show, Open Door Challenge. Saturday nights, Nonsensical Nonsense, and
which
Sundays,
we've been a part of, and it's a blast.
It is why I came to the network, because Saturday nights is my favorite. I can just cut loose and let the shenanigans roll. No filter, maybe, and no penises and no racism.
Yeah,
no 0/penises, people. And then Sundays,
I could pull a partner of mine right now, but I'll leave it alone.
don't take his material. That he might get mad at.
Oh no, I'm not stealing his material. I just know what a friend of mine would say right now.
Fair. And Sunday nights, if it fits in your garage, it will fit in Jeff and Benji's mouth.
So, are they going to talk about my penis?
Oh, wait.
It would be a very short conversation, homie. So let's leave it out of it.
There's usually you can usually find penises in garages. So yes, Jeff's garage, maybe some penis talk. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I want to. God, see, this is why I can't go all night on a Thursday.
Dude, drink a shot. Drink another shot. Drink a shot. Come on, you can do it.
No booze tonight. I don't. Hold on.
I got you back. I got him.
I don't have a shot glass. I will prepare.
I got you right here. Check it out, because that's our skit.
Okay.
I got you covered.
I'm gonna let him take take a shot for me.
Can I do my plug just to be fun?
Go for it. Go ahead and plug.
So obviously, I'm not a. Don't you shake your head, okay? I'll cut that beard right off your chin. They will see it forever, right here.
Yeah. No shameless plugs allowed on my network.
Yingling.
I will never. Yeah. No, nobody ever does that on somebody else's show. Not once.
No, I would never do anything like that.
No, obviously, I'm not a part of the Nonsensical Network, but we do collab quite a bit. And the gentleman has helped, this one. Well, I'm sorry. This guy right over here has, he stepped up, helped me out. I very much appreciate Blazin'. I appreciate, dude. I've had a blast on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Like I said, right now we're in the very early stages of our stuff. Everything we've been doing has been like open forum, but we are opening up and talking about different shows. Possibly doing like maybe an 80s retro. I'm definitely wanting to do. Obviously, I'm a big movie buff, and we're still discussing whether it wants to be movies or where I really excel horror movies. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to be doing more shows in the near future. Hopefully, a lot more collabs with you guys. I got some stuff like I've been talking to this gentleman over here about, but ours is Wednesday and Sunday nights, and unfortunately, it kind of I hate that it butts in with, your guys' stuff, but our stuff is open forum, so we're always looking to conversate and converse. I know conversation on a word.
It's a big internet world.
That's what happens.
Dude, there's literally over 10,000 podcasts, and there's no reason why we all can't try and get along in some way, shape, or form. Honestly.
Agreed. 100%.
And this network is number one.
Yes, you are better than us right now. But you also have a head start on us. So to be fair, we are working on our stuff. Wednesday and Sunday nights, we are looking to do a lot more. Other than that, yeah, I had a blast, and I really appreciate you guys having me on here, and I look forward to doing some more of this stuff again. Really, I do.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Here you go, brother.
Thank you.
Proper.
Cheers. Cheers. Get off my fucking airwaves, like he says. You have control over your power button, not me. Glick, do you have anything you'd like to say for our rolling out show?
Nah, this was cool. I'm glad I finally got to get on here with you and hang out. And thank you, Bill, for coming in short notice. Appreciate that, man. Greatly do appreciate that. And,
appreciate the invite.
Just check out the network. Just check out all the shows, man. We got a lot of things going on here, and check out our boys over at Another Shot. Show them some love as well. They're doing their thing over there. Just keep enjoying what we're doing. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and we're ever changing, ever evolving. So
I want to thank the audience.
My tagline?
Go for it. Tagline. Tag it up.
So obviously everything I say, everything that me and my partner, who's usually here, says, it is just our opinion. But then again, might be the alcohol talking.
It's definitely the alcohol talking. Usually it is for me. That's for sure. Especially on Saturday night.
I was going to say Saturday nights. Saturday Night Blaze is awesome.
Yes.
Horror movies.
What's that?
Next time we do this, it has to be horror movies.
We can work that in. So next week's going to be Deadpool, but I don't want everybody to think it's just going to be movies and comic books. I think the week after that, I'm going to do something. We're going to do something about AI, artificial intelligence, and shit like that. Yeah,
Jeff's gonna fuck it.
Jeff's gonna fuck it if it's got a hole and it moves. So with that being said, I want to thank all the audience for stopping by and enjoying. Remember, these discussions, they're not typical, they're nonsensical. And with that, let's roll this outro. This has been a production of the Nonsensical Network. Ah, shit. There goes another bong.
Dude, you have the best intro and outro I've seen yet out of